Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I'm back from Myanmar and I just wanted to do a little update. So I've collected little Toby, who's right here, and my Vandas down from the Gold Coast, and I've collected some of the orchids that were being babysat from two of my friends, and I'm picking the rest of them up tonight. Meanwhile, while I've been gone, my computer has died somehow, and I had to wipe my entire hard drive last night because my computer wouldn't turn on. So yeah, I have lost all my videos, my intros, outros. Luckily, like all my, I guess, important actual documents for work and things like that were saved on Dropbox. Anyway, it's not the end of the world. The computer's sort of working again, but I'm very wary about stuff that I'm saving, and you know, I didn't have a backup, which I should have. But yeah, it's just a lesson to be learnt. But I'm going to do this update and just show you some of the orchids that are just doing stuff, and yeah, I'm really sorry this is going to be a very raw video. I don't have any editing software downloaded at the moment, so it's just slow and steady getting back into the swing of things. But we'll start with my Phalaenopsis cornu-cervi, which is in flower. And aren't those little flowers cute? They're tiny. To give you perspective, that's my hand. So they would only be just under an inch wide. No fragrance that I can detect, but on this side there's another little bud forming. So here is my Phals mañana, which started a leaf, and this flower spike has progressed quite nicely. It's growing pretty slowly, and it is quite a small, I'd say almost flimsy flower spike. It yeah, I feel like I have to be quite cautious with it, like it's quite fragile, but we'll see how it goes. It's a first flower spike for this little one, so I hear great things about the flowers and the fragrance and everything, so yeah, I'm excited. This is my Dendrobium hibiki, which is tiny, and I just did not think it was flowering size at all. So it's growing some new shoots here, another one on this side, another one at the back, but what I wanted to show you was, I guess these here, which could be keikis, but they're growing like flower spikes. If you see those there, and there's another one, let me find it, on this side here as well. You see that? So, I mean, wouldn't it be lovely if they were flower spikes, but look how small that cane is. Yeah, so I'll keep you updated on this one. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to do anything, so yeah, it'd be exciting. This is my Paphiopedilum. I guess it's Ho Chi Minh. It's a cross between Vietnamese and Delanatia, I believe. Let me just double check. Yep, that's the one. And yeah, check this out. So I think that's a flower spike coming up. It certainly feels quite plump at the base here, and yeah, so that's cool. Now here are a few phals that stayed at home, and this red Toccata is almost in full bloom. Isn't she glorious? Look at the little white tips on the edges of those sepals. This is a first bloom, you guys. Look how wonderful it is. and some other phals. So these guys all stayed at home, and I'll put a link down to the videos that I made about preparing for vacation. But basically I kept all the phals, all the oncidiums and dendrobiums that were staying at home. So they were mostly all the ones in the larger pots, or the ones that were too bulky to transport to my friends' houses, but I kept them in the bathroom downstairs, which is cooler, and they did amazing. Some of these guys were still actually a little bit moist after 3 weeks, so yeah, it worked really well. But they're all doing fantastic, actually. I don't think they grew as fast as they would have if I was home and letting them go through their usual wet-dry cycle and doing all that, but they all still developed nicely. Their leaves still grew. The roots grew like mad. So yeah, I'm very pleased that that worked. But yeah, check out the video. I'll put it in the description down below on how I kept them, because yeah, I think it worked really well for me. So here's my messy outdoor grow space, which I'm slowly setting up again. Very messy. But I'll just go and show you a few little things that are happening. But here's my Arides Hulishiana, which my mother-in-law was looking after, and she had no idea, but she grew a little flower spike for me. All the other Vandas are doing great. She set up a very cute little area with a shade cloth for them, and she hoes them down every day. And yeah, they're all growing new leaves, they've all got new roots, but that's the only flower spike that I've spotted. So over here, oncidiums, so these big oncidiums mostly stayed at home. They didn't grow a lot, as did the cattleyas. They stayed at home, the big ones, and they didn't grow a lot, but they're still alive and they're all hanging in there. Probably the worst one was this little guy, my Colmonara wildcat, which it's plumped up a little bit again, but it was very, very shriveled. But I gave it a water yesterday and it's plumping up a little bit, but you can see the pseudobulbs are severely shriveled there, but it had these 2 flower spikes to support, but you can see the flower spikes sort of drooping over a little bit, and it's lost its perkiness, I would say, but it'll be fine. The cattleyas, they didn't do too much. Some of the little growths are pushing on, but not as fast as I would have liked. They were all kept inside. They do much better outside. But very difficult to show you, but there are flower buds growing in there. So we're going to have flowers, hopefully, on my Laelia purpurata, which is awesome. Move you over here, and my Sideria japonica is blooming. She's just opening up her flowers now. I can't detect any fragrance yet, but aren't they adorable? Look at that. Isn't she pretty? And up the top here, my Miltoniopsis Her Alexander has its first flower spike. Can you believe it is actually flowering off this tiny little pseudobulb here? But there you go. The catasetums all survived without any watering, but I'll show you these two because they're the 2 that I've started watering since I got back. Let me show you. This is Catasetum sinuum, and that flower spike is growing very nicely, but you can see the roots are like curling down the bottom of the pot there. It's looking very nice. And if you saw my other Catasetum update video, you'll know this one. It's a Fred Clark Giara Baker's Black Hole, After Dark Baker's Black Hole, and it's looking amazing actually. So I watered this one a bit too early, destroyed its first flush of roots, and it's managing to send out more roots. So yeah, the back bulb just plumped up a little bit again, but it was very, very, very shriveled when I got home. So I thought, well, if it's not going to take water now, then I don't know what I'm going to do with these Catasetums. So, but yeah, the roots look fine. I drizzled a bit of water through yesterday, and I'm going to slowly start to amp that up because I want a nice big pseudobulb and hopefully flowers from this one. And next we're going to move over here because I have something amazing to show you guys. So I did get a few new orchids. This isn't the amazing thing I'm going to show you, but I got a few just before I left, and we have a Brassidium there. This is a Bulbophyllum Elizabeth Ann, and it's my very first Bulbophyllum, so you can watch me faff around with this one because I have no idea what I'm doing. And this is a new Path I've got, Path Bellicillum, which I do believe, where is it, is also coming into spike. And up here I've got this beauty. It's a Paphiopedilum hirsutissimum, and yeah, 2 flower buds. And last but not least, I've got to show you this beauty. This is my Paphiopedilum philippinense. And look at him. Isn't he just wonderful? The flowers are much smaller than I expected. Look at those petals, they're still growing. It's got 2 more buds here, which will open in the next week or so, hopefully. But I will do a bit more of a spotlight video on this one because it is just fantastic. Look at that. Look at that upper sepal. It is just a magnificent flower. Oh yeah, I did say last but not least, but there is one more that I have to show you. And this is my Miltoniopsis. So this is Miltoniopsis, let me see, Rubenesque, I believe. And isn't she lovely? So it did have another flower spike, but on my way to my orchid babysitters, I had to brake very heavily, and a whole tray of orchids fell in my car, and it was an absolute disaster. And yes, it broke one of the flower spikes on this one, but she hung in there, and isn't she wonderful? Absolutely beautiful. She smells exactly like roses. Alright guys, well, I'll give you another update once I get the rest of my plants tonight, and hopefully I'll get some video editing software up and running, and I'll do an Orchids in Bloom for October, and I also have lots of wonderful pictures to show you from Myanmar, and I don't think I've ever seen so many orchids just hanging in people's doorways, like just orchids everywhere. I was in heaven. I was the orchid spotter for the trip. Everyone was pretty sick of me by the end of it, but I have lots of amazing footage to show you from Burma, so I will compile a video when I have a working computer again. But until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time. Happy growing until then. Bye.